Hi there. Thanks for visiting caregiverrelief.com. Our website is for caregivers. We know that being a caregiver can be challenging, but we are here to help. Our website is full of useful information that can make your life easier. If you want to stay up to date with our latest content, be sure to subscribe to our email list. As a subscriber, you'll get access to exclusive content that isn't available to the public. Don't miss out on all the great resources we have to offer. Subscribe now and start benefiting from our expert advice and support. And thanks for watching. We look forward to supporting you on your caregiving journey. Today's lesson is aging in place, the commitment for older adults to remain in their own homes as they age. Aging in place is a concept that involves many different processes that address the ever-changing needs of the older adults. These processes address the needs in a manner so that the older adults may remain in their home and community for as long as possible. Hey, we're living longer than ever before, but we're not living healthier. So we have to prepare for aging in place. Simply put, aging in place allows the older adult to receive care that they need in the setting of their choice, safely, comfortably, and at any ability level. It gives any individual the opportunity to call their house a home for their lifetime. As older adults age in place, the community they live in will need to get creative on how to support them. So how do you prepare for your future care needs? And when should you start planning? There are many aspects to aging in place that I will cover briefly in this lesson. According to AARP, 80 million baby boomers are beginning to retire. Retirement planning to age in place with caregiving services is a conscious decision by many older adults presently living in their own homes. The average length of retirement to death is 18 years. So there's a lot to plan for as we get older. We live longer and healthier lives. Baby boomers are changing the way future generations will view aging. In fact, many boomers are already experiencing caring for an elderly parent. Many have firsthand knowledge of caring for a parent and have dealt with home care services, adult daycare programs, and have made some home modifications to assure home safety. Many already know what a long-term care facility or assisted living is like and do not want it for themselves. 65% of the baby boomers over 65 will require some form of long-term care. While we are planning, a major crisis is occurring in this country. For the first time in history, we have more seniors than youth in the world. This is a global problem. This has created a shortage of people to provide care for the aging population. We also have a major shortage of direct care workers that would support older adults that want to age in place. This is causing many family caregivers to leave the workforce to provide care at home. Planning ahead and preparing for aging in place can make the difference between being able to return home or having to go to a nursing home because the house cannot accommodate you. Remember, this is really important. Falls, yes, falls are the #1 independence robber of seniors. One fall may keep an elderly person from returning home because home modifications were never made to accommodate the aging body. Hey, it would be nice if we had a crystal ball and could see into our health issues in the future. Since that is not possible, we cannot anticipate a broken hip or a capacitating illness. So I'm going to remind my listeners that falls are the #1 independence robber of the elderly. One fall can prevent you from ever returning to your own home or your own community. It happens all the time. Here's a perfect example. I was walking a dog the other day and I came upon an elderly woman flying flat at the end of her driveway. She was an 80-year-old female that was out raking leaves and fell backwards. As I'm trying to assess the situation, I learned she lost her husband this year, had a total hip just a few months before, and had a bad knee that was going to require a total knee in the next few months. She had been laying there for almost an hour. She lives basically with good health otherwise. My point is, you never know when a situation will arise that will change your life forever. That is why it is so important when you plan for aging in place, you put things in place to be successful. And there are many senior resources. Wanda, the little lady that I helped, did not have those things in place. And we can, however, put things in place to make things easier should a medical crisis occur. So let's step back for a moment and consider a few things. What if I had a medical emergency? Who would have the medical and insurance information to make sure I get timely care? What if I was in a wheelchair, even for a few weeks? Could I get around the house? If I'm unable to care for myself, who will care for me? If I live like this for years, who will pay for it? If I needed care, would insurance pay for it? If I'm unable to voice my opinions or express my end-of-life wishes in care, who will do that for me? What if something happened to me and I was unable to physically or mentally or cognitively pay my bills? Who would take care of that for me? These are questions you should be asking yourself while you're still healthy and in a good state of mind. These are questions that you need to have answered to develop a plan to successfully age in place. So let's talk about planning ahead. The most important part of aging in place is getting organized and putting all the legal and medical paperwork in order. This is probably the most difficult task for most individuals to face, but it is most important. Taking the time to address and give consideration to the serious topic of several of these ends will allow you to have a say and control over your care should you become unable to make those wishes known. Getting organized and putting the paperwork in order will not only save you undue stress in the future, it will allow you and your family member to make educated and informed decisions regarding your care when the time comes. So let's get over what things should be organized for easy accessibility. Your medical history, your health insurance, your life insurance, long-term care policy, your veterans benefits, financial information, your will and estate planning, your advance directive, your power of attorney for healthcare, also known as healthcare proxy, and finances and funeral arrangements are all important. These are all important documents that need to be put in for easy accessibility for someone when you're not able to get to them. Here is a brief overview of the important legal and medical documents. Let's talk about the advance directive. An advance directive is a legal document that allows you to make your medical healthcare wishes known to your family, friends, and medical personnel. This is important to remember. In the event you become unable to make those decisions for yourself or are unable to express your wishes yourself. Example, if you have a stroke or a coma. A good advance directive describes the treatments you want or do not want, depending on how sick you are. I strongly recommend 5wishes.org because it takes a holistic approach and it's very thought-provoking. It's a great tool to use when creating your advance directive because it asks questions, very specific questions that make you address the issues of end of life. Again, that's 5wishes.org. A healthcare proxy, power of attorney for healthcare, is also called a POA. A healthcare power of attorney or healthcare proxy is a person that you have chosen to make your medical decisions in the event you are unable to do so. This is a person that you should trust and share the same values as you do. This should also be a person that you are able to discuss your end of life decisions with and feel comfortable that they will honor your wishes. I'm going to recommend here that everybody just consider one person for a healthcare power of attorney and not two, because if you have two and one disagrees with the other, they're going to opt to do everything possible to extend your life versus allow you to have a peaceful death if that's what you wanted. It's something you have to seriously consider. This should also be a person that you are able to discuss end of life decisions with and feel comfortable that they will honor your wishes. And please don't make things confusing and have two healthcare power of attorneys. It's just confusing for everybody. And if one of your proxies decides they want everything done and go against your wishes, the medical providers will do that and ignore your wishes. So make sure it's a person you trust, you feel comfortable with, and that will honor your wishes. There's also the power of attorney for finance. This is a person that you have chosen that will manage your financial affairs should you be unable to do so. Of course, this may be the same person as the healthcare power of attorney, but does not have to be. And again, I suggest that this should be a person that you trust and one that you feel will not abuse the power you have given them. Do you have a will and estate planning? Estate planning is not for the rich anymore. It is putting a plan in place that allows your family and the financial goals you want to accomplish for them to be met after you die. Estate planning is a process that includes writing a will, but also involves including your financial assets, businesses if there is any, medical and all insurance information, and a family in that planning process. It is a process that should be started early if you have assets you want to protect. There are many benefits to having a will and trust in place. It is your last opportunity to have a say in how you want things done, even after you're gone. I know that not everyone wants to plan their funeral in advance, but there are many reasons I will address here and now. I know this is an uncomfortable subject for many, but many of us do not want to face the fact that we are getting older, let alone that one day we may no longer be on this earth. So planning your funeral in advance has many advantages that I'll address here. The cost factor, for one, is so much less when you're preparing early for funeral arrangements. Families, when unprepared and functioning under undue stress, make poor decisions. Under stress and feeling guilt and anxiety, they feel pressure to spend large amount of money unnecessarily. Pre-planned funerals not only decrease the stress on a family, but you as an older adult continue to have a say and control over what you want and how you want it done. For many, that is a motivating factor to plan early. Aging in place means making your home your partner. At the beginning of this lesson, I asked a few questions. So how do you prepare for your future care needs? And when should I start planning? Well, here's the answer. That depends on you. You see, if you want to remain in your home, anytime you make modifications, you make changes to your physical environment that will allow you to stay in the comfort of your home. Making changes over time is perfect. It's great. It allows you to financially make changes a little at a time. Home safety concerns should always be a priority as you age in place. Now remember, the majority of homes we presently live in were built for the young and growing family and the young and nimble body. As we age, our bodies change, but our physical environment does not. And this can be detrimental to successful aging in place. Simple changes can make a difference and promote independence. If you are a person with arthritis, changing all the knobs on the doors to levers can, over time, can make life easier. Replacing a toilet, make it a high toilet. Have an old style tub, consider putting in a walk-in tub. Consider making the changes before you have trouble walking. Of course, meal preparation as you age can become more challenging, and there are modifications that you can make to the home that will address your kitchen. Seniors living alone may benefit from changes to the kitchen that make meal preparation easier. As we age, we also have vision problems, so explore good lighting that is easier to age in place. As we age, it can become more difficult to get up from a sitting position. So be proactive, and when doing remodeling, contact a certified aging in place specialist to assist you in making the right choices. What is a certified aging in place specialist, also called CAPS? CAPS? This is a certification that is the result of work done in conjunction with the National Association of Home Builders, the 50 Plus Housing National Council, and AARP. They utilize the concepts of universal, accessible, and adaptable design. They specialize in helping you achieve aging in place. The beauty of the concept of aging in place is that the changes can be appealing to the eye. This is not the institutional look of the past, far from it indeed. I think you'll be quite surprised to see how some of the beautiful and yet functional changes can be made to a home. Walk-in tubs are just one of the home modifications that can make senior living independently possible. Lighting, ramps, stair lifts all make daily life easier for many seniors. Of course, safety is the number one priority as we age. And as I said before, falls are the number one independence robber of the aging senior. A CAPS specialist can assess the interior and exterior of the home and make recommendations for home modifications that would address changes to the environment regarding home safety, such as lighting, barrier-free entrances, grab bars, etc. So, when do you start planning for future care needs? I know what you're thinking. How could I possibly plan for my future care needs? What is she thinking? I know you don't have a crystal ball, but there are things that you can do, plans you can put in place that will help prepare you for your future. There will come a time when you will have difficulty performing everyday tasks, and you may face health problems and need increased medical care. There comes a time when you will need help with your personal care needs. Everyday tasks become challenging. You may need in-home care services to support you. There are many things that need to be addressed in this section, so I will be brief. Planning for your future care needs means knowing how you will be paying for those services. Do you have long-term care or other health insurance? Do you know if a reverse mortgage is beneficial for you? Do you know if you will qualify for community resources? Do you know what resources are available to you? Do you know what types of home health care services are available in your community? Well, here's where we're going to start. You must be an informed consumer. If you are going to have a plan to age in place, then you need to do some legwork to accomplish these goals. Here's a place to start. Let's start at the local Office of Area on Aging. This is a federal government program that functions at the state level. They will provide you with information on government programs and community resources. There are also 4 different Veterans Affairs programs that may support you as you age in place. Call your local Disabled American Veterans Office. They will provide you with information and guide you to find the right programs for you. If you have a specific diagnosis such as diabetes, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, or heart disease, that would be the next organization I would call for assistance and guidance. These organizations can provide support and resources. Some will provide disease specific information and support disease control. If you have specific disease diagnosis, have frequent discussions with your healthcare professionals about your future care needs. Let them know that you have long-term goals and you want to have a plan in place to remain in your home as long as possible. You want to know your prognosis and expected course your disease may take. This is so you can plan ahead to the best of your ability. You may want to seek the assistance and expertise of a geriatric care manager. These individuals are trained and experienced in the area of several fields related to geriatrics. They can help navigate the medical delivery system. They come from many fields: nursing, gerontology, social work, or psychology, all with a specialized focus on issues relating to aging and elder care. A geriatric care manager can assist you with putting a plan in place if you need assistance. The National Association of Professional Geriatric Care Managers, called NAPGCM, is an organization of practitioners whose goal is the advancement of expert assistance to the elderly and their families. The next step in this education process is becoming aware of the options available for alternative care to the home setting. Learn the differences between Medicare that provides skilled care services and non-medical in-home care services. Custodial care, or in-home care, is considered unskilled care. Seniors pay for non-medical in-home care services out of their own pocket. Of course, these services may be paid for by a long-term care insurance policy or be paid through a veterans program. And be aware, some states have a Medicaid program that will pay for a home health aide or pay the family caregiver to provide that care. Other in-home care providers will do everything from providing personal care support to light housekeeping, grocery shopping, and even meal preparation. Some in-home health providers will offer companion services or personal care aides. These aides will provide personal care and provide support with other activities of daily living. Medical insurance pays for one, you pay out of pocket for the other. That is, unless you have a long-term care insurance policy with a home care rider. If you do not have a cost of living rider on your policy, be aware that today's cost of home care services is not the rate of when you bought the policy. So many of my clients have experienced shock when they cannot afford to pay out of pocket for care because they live on Social Security. They thought that at the time, when the time came, they would be able to use their long-term care insurance policy and it would cover the cost at today's rates. And that is just not so. So do your homework, understand what your long-term care insurance policy covers, and at the rates they're covering them. Now, here are different levels of care that should be considered to age in place. Senior centers can provide nutrition programs, socialization, and activities that allow older adults to get out of the house and enjoy the day. As we age, we lose friends. Going to a senior center will allow you or your aging family member to make a few new friends, as well as enjoy interaction and socialization with others. Adult daycare is important for those aging individuals that have more intensive physical or cognitive needs. This setting allows older adults to get out of the home and still enjoy some activities and socialization. And this is also an important setting for the family caregiver that has a family of their own or needs to continue to work. Some family caregivers use adult daycare services to have the time to get routine things done for themselves, such as taking care of their own needs or going to the doctor on their own. I'm now going to address hospice care. Hospice care is not so much about the end-of-life care as choosing to plan how you want to plan for the end of your life. Some individuals want to remain in their homes, surrounded by family and friends. Others choose to fight death and want to be in a hospital and they want every measure taken to extend their life. Just know there is no right or wrong answer here, and there's no right or wrong way. There is only your way. For those who want to remain in their homes, hospice is an alternative that you should discuss with your doctor. It is my experience that the healthcare delivery system and the doctors in it wait too long to refer an individual to hospice. Sadly, it's many times due to financial reasons on the doctor's part. Hospice is paid by insurance under Medicare. Payments to specialists and other physicians do become limited when you go on hospice. So they're giving up a patient and that income. So doctors have a hard time with that. So if you are an individual that has put an advance directive in place, you know what you want as far as your end of life care. You and your power of attorney should investigate hospice services long before you need them. Understand and learn the concepts of hospice. It is also important for every family member to know and understand that you can self-refer to hospice at any time. So many times a family member thinks that hospice is killing their loved one. This is because families are not aware of the death and dying process. Hospice providers can take time to explain the death and dying process and to help take time to address the other factors and concerns of those family members. And as I said before, you can self-refer to hospice. This means you can pick up the phone, call the local hospice company, and ask them to come out and do an evaluation on you or your loved one. They will do an assessment, and if you are appropriate, they will call the doctor and get an order to start services. If you are not appropriate at the time, the nurse will give you the indicators or markers that you can look for to determine eligibility in the future. Always ask them to follow up with you in a few months. They will be more than happy to do so. They may refer you to palliative care services. Older adults living at home, living with a chronic condition, would benefit from palliative care. This is a program that offers services that will bridge to improved health or will support you until hospice is needed. And I'm going to briefly address respite care in this lesson. Many aging seniors will have family caregivers providing care for them in their home. Respite care offers the family caregiver the opportunity to take a temporary break from the exhausting challenges of caregiving. Medicare has provided an opportunity for family caregivers to have in-home help or to place an aging senior in a nursing home for a brief period of time every year so that they may have time away from their caregiving duties. It is a benefit of 5 days a year. Many caregivers are not aware of this benefit. Caregiver stress is very real, and without respite care, many individuals will require permanent placement in another alternative setting. In the United States alone, a care survey reports there are over 70 million individuals providing unpaid care for an aging senior member at home. Without in-home care, they would be institutionalized. Successful aging in place takes planning. Start your plan today.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss an episode of Caregiver Relief. If you have any thoughts, ideas, or suggestions for future videos, topics you'd like us to cover, or even improvements you'd like to see on the channel, drop them in the comments below.